Ever wish you could sound, like, truly fluent in Italian? Not just like you're reading from a phrase book, you know?
Ah, music to my ears. You're hitting on something really key there.
Well, today's deep dive is all about unlocking that next level. We're going to tackle a challenge I bet everyone learning Italian has faced. How do you say how long something takes?
Oh, you're right on the money with this one. It seems so simple at first. But even people who've been speaking Italian for a while, they trip up on these verbs because it's not just grammar, it's about how Italians think about time, you know?
Okay, so which verbs are giving us trouble today? Lay it on me.
We're going to be dissecting ci vuole and metterci. They both have to do with time, how long something takes, but they each have their own personality, let's say.
Ooh, I like where this is going. So it's not just about getting the grammar right, it's about choosing the expression that sounds natural.
Exactly, and that's what makes you sound truly fluent. It's all about those subtle nuances. But before we dive into the nitty-gritty, there's a bit of a misconception I want to clear up. Some people might be thinking about the verb bisogna, one needs to. Now, while that verb conveys necessity, it's not really used for, like, actual durations of time. So, for example, bisogna lavorare per guadagnare soldi. One needs to work to earn money. It's a general truth, not a specific time frame.
Okay, so bisogna is off the table for our time-bending adventure today. So let's start with ci vuole. I'm pretty sure I've seen that translated as it takes in English, am I right?
True, but there's a catch. See, the way Italians structure this phrase is different. It's what we call, and don't let the grammar term scare you, an impersonal construction.
Oh, please, demystify away. I'm all about making grammar less scary.
Basically, with ci vuole, there's no specific subject doing the taking. It's not I take, or you take, or even the cake takes. It's more like time itself is in charge. Think of it like this. It takes 20 minutes to bake a cake.
Right.
So the focus there is on the duration, not who's doing the baking. You'd say, ci vuole 20 minuti. And that's like our little time marker signaling that we're talking about duration.
That's a really helpful way to think about it. So ci vuole is perfect for when we're talking about, like, a general amount of time that's needed for something.
You got it. And here's a little bonus tip for you. Ci vuole isn't just about time. Italians use it to talk about, like, qualities or characteristics needed for something too.
Wait, really? Give me an example. This is already blowing my mind.
Okay, so let's say someone's trying to learn a new language. Always a good idea. You could say, ci vuole pazienza, meaning it takes patience. So see how it's not really a measurable duration, but a quality.
That is so cool. I'm already starting to see how, like, mastering these little verbs can really unlock a whole deeper level of understanding how Italians express themselves.
Absolutely. And we're just getting started. Let's move on to metterci, which, unlike ci vuole, which is impersonal, metterci is all about you. How long you personally take to do something. It's about your effort, your personal experience of time.
Okay, so this is more like saying it takes me this long. It's like more personal.
Yeah.
About individual effort.
You got it. You're getting it.
Yeah.
So imagine you're telling a friend how long it takes you to get to work. You could say, ci metto un'ora per arrivare in ufficio. It takes me an hour to get to the office.
Okay, this is starting to click. So with ci vuole, time's the boss. But with metterci, it's more about my time, my investment of it almost.
Exactly. You're getting it.
Right.
And here's the crucial point. Because metterci is all about you, the verb has to agree with the subject, whether it's I, you, he, she, we, they.
So that's where those infamous Italian conjugations rear their heads. Don't worry, I've got my trusty verb charts ready.
You're one step ahead of me. But before we get lost in a sea of verb endings, there's one more twist we need to unravel. What happens when we go back in time? How do we talk about how long something took in the past? Both ci vuole and metterci have a few tricks up their sleeves when we start talking about the past.
Benvenuti back, everyone, for part 2 of our Italian verb extravaganza. Last time we were getting to grips with ci vuole and metterci in the present tense, but now get ready to fire up your time machines because we're going back to the past.
And as you might expect, Italian verbs, well, they don't always follow the straightest path when it comes to the past tense. But don't worry, we'll be your trusty guides through this grammatical jungle.
So let's rewind. If we're talking about how long something took, how do our verbs change?
Let's start with ci vuole. Remember how it's impersonal in the present, no specific subject doing the taking.
Right, like time itself is the boss.
Exactly. Now, in the past tense, ci vuole needs a little help from its friend essere, to be. But here's where things get a little spicy. Essere has to agree with the amount of time we're talking about. not the subject.
Hold on. So we're making the verb agree with time itself now? This is getting seriously philosophical.
It's like Italian grammar is giving time the ultimate respect. Okay, so let's say it took 2 hours to do something. Do or, that's plural, right?
Oh,
So
right.
instead of ci vuole 2 ore, you'd say ci sono volute 2 ore. It took 2 hours.
Wow. So the verb is literally like dancing to the rhythm of time. That's kind of a fun way to think about it. Okay, so ci vuole gets a bit of a makeover in the past, partnering up with essere and agreeing with the time. What about metterci? Does it get a similar costume change?
Metterci is a little more straightforward when we go back in time. It just uses the helper verb avere, to have. And luckily for us, avere doesn't care about agreeing with time. It follows its regular conjugation patterns.
Okay. Phew. That's a relief. So how would we say it took me 2 hours using metterci in the past?
You would say ci ha messo 2 ore.
Ci ho messo 2 ore. Got it. So even in the past with metterci, the focus is still on my personal experience of that time.
Exactly. And to really make this stick, let's compare how they both work in a sentence. Okay, imagine you've just spent hours slaving away, making the most amazing meal. You could say, ci sono volute 3 ore per preparare la cena. It took 3 hours to prepare dinner, using ci vuole to emphasize just how long that delicious dinner took.
So that's like saying, dinner's at 8, everyone, but be prepared to wait 3 hours.
Chuckles. Right. Now, if you wanted to emphasize your effort, your blood, sweat, and tears that went into making this culinary masterpiece, you'd use metterci. You'd say, ci ho messo 3 ore per preparare la cena. So it still means it took 3 hours to prepare dinner, but you're highlighting your personal investment of time, your effort.
Man, I'm really starting to appreciate the subtle but like powerful differences between these two little verbs. It's like they each give us a totally different perspective on how time works. But I have a feeling we're not quite done yet, are we?
You know me too well. We've covered how to express duration in the present and the past, but volerci and metterci have even more tricks up their sleeves, and trust me, they're worth learning if you want to truly unlock the magic of these verbs.
All right, amici, welcome back for the grand finale of our Italian verb adventure. We've danced through present and past. We've mastered how long things take.
But like a delicious Italian meal, there's always room for more, right?
You know it. So you're saying ci vuole and metterci still have some tricks up their sleeves.
Oh, absolutely. These verbs are like those friends who always have one more surprise for you. They pop up in other Italian expressions, too, with totally different meanings.
Whoa, okay. I thought we'd explored every inch of these verbs by now. Like, what else can they do? Can they magically order me a pizza in perfect Italian?
While they might not be making restaurant reservations for you, they can definitely spice up your everyday conversations. Remember how we talked about ci vuole for like the qualities you need for something?
Right, like ci vuole pazienza. It takes patience.
Exactly. Well, that idea, it goes way beyond just characteristics.
Okay, you're going to have to give me an example here. My curiosity is piqued.
Okay, picture this. You're at a party, the music is fantastic, everyone's having a good time, and you turn to your friend and go, ci vuole proprio un ballo, which means we really need a dance right now.
So it's not just describing a quality anymore. It's like a strong desire, a need.
You got it. It's like ci vuole just throws a party in your sentence and suddenly, bam, it's expressing this whole other layer of meaning.
I am loving this. Okay, so ci vuole has this hidden talent for talking about needs and desires. What about metterci? Does it have any secret powers beyond telling time?
Oh, for sure. Remember how it emphasizes personal effort? Well, Italians use it to talk about the emotional energy you put into something, too. The commitment.
Okay, now that is fascinating. Give me an example. I want to add this to my vocabulary, like yesterday.
Okay, so imagine your friend just finished telling you about this huge challenge they overcame. You could say, wow, devi averci messo cuore. Wow, you must have really put your heart into it.
That's beautiful. So it's not just the time they spent, but like the passion, the dedication they poured into it.
Exactly. And that, my friend, is what makes learning a language so rewarding. It's not about memorizing grammar rules. It's about unlocking these little secrets, these beautiful ways that Italians express themselves.
I could not agree more. I feel like ci vuole and metterci, they're not just verbs anymore. They're like little windows into the Italian soul, revealing how Italians think about time and effort and passion.
I couldn't have said it better myself. So, listeners, as we wrap up our deep dive today, remember this is just the beginning. Keep exploring, keep practicing, and keep discovering those little nuances that make Italian such a vibrant and expressive language.
Ciao for now, everyone, and happy practicing.